wonderful sweet baby. So today we're going to be talking about part 2 of Baddies Caribbean, the reunion. So pretty much it all started with the Meatball and Tinka situation, and we picked up from there. So Meatball once again, Mukamakamika, Tinka, and then next thing you know, here comes Slim Too Bad. So Slim Too Bad decided to try to sneak Meatball, but Meatball actually caught her and Slim had a second thought. That's when Saucy Santana decides to do a whole meatball chant and had the whole audience screaming, "Meatball, meatball, meatball." Jaela decided to go at it with Meatball again, and that's when Meatball Mukamakamika Jaela again. When Tinka and Meatball went at it again for like the 5th time, that's when Meatball decided to pick up a chair like she was James Evans from Good Times. So then this resulted to Tinka actually laying out on the floor like a big ass baby. Saucy Santana actually then claims that Meatball was the MVP of the entire season. So then Tommy actually pulls Meatball to the side and they have a little private combo and she has like a little heart-to-heart with Meatball. During this time, Meatball was crying because she was like, she really had to fight her sister for real. I don't really have a still of Scotty when she did this, but I had peeped that when Janisha tried to pretty much get everybody to be calm again, Scotty had this really nasty little look on her face. So the tension between them two is just super thick at this point. So then came the situation that everybody was waiting on. Pretty much Diamond the Body was introduced, and I had peeped a little something. When Janisha had introduced Diamond the Body, she said, "Now coming out is Diamond the Body." She didn't just call her Diamond like she did Scotty on the last episode. But Diamond came out and she looked very cute. She had a whole little pink ensemble going on. And she pretty much just came out and said like, "Okay, does anybody have any problems with me? Like, does anybody want to run up? Like, what are we doing? Does anybody want to have a conversation?" When Diamond came out, Natalie actually jumped out of her seat and was like, "Oh no, I'm not about to get snuck." So she actually ran so she could move out of the way so she wouldn't get hit by anybody. So then pretty much Tesekhi comes forth and says like, "You know what? We got a problem and you gonna have to run it." Diamond immediately takes off her wig and throws it at Tesekhi. Then they, pretty much goes to blow. I feel like Diamond really could not get her licks in because she had this whole ensemble going on. And then also up underneath them, they had this rug that was moving every time they tried to squabble. And then as you could see, Diamond was dressed like she was trying to be pretty. And Tesekhi was literally dressed for war. But honestly, it didn't give what, the hype was that it gave. It was like they went at it and Tesekhi really didn't give it the all to match up what was going on with Diamond's face. So Diamond actually started to undress to kind of get like all the furry stuff off of her so she can actually squabble a little better, but Tesekhi was not letting her do it. So then after that's when pretty much Diamond just ran to the back so she could kind of undress and get into something different. She came back out for a round 2 with Tesekhi, but Tesekhi wasn't even really trying to give her a round 2. And then a little something that I noticed was, as you guys could see up here, you could see that Bianca actually decided to step on Diamond. So when Diamond came back out, that's when Slim Too Bad wanted to have a round 2 with Diamond because she wasn't drunk this time. Which, if anything, even with her being not drunk, she could have saved that. And another thing about the Diamond and Slim fight was that Diamond could barely even see because she had just went around with Tesekhi and it looked like she had, something going on with her eye. And Diamond even tried to go at it with Tesekhi again, but Tesekhi actually, moved out of the way and security grabbed Diamond hella fast. So Gretchen ends up coming out and, Jaela was already positioning herself getting ready because she already knew what time it was. So Gretchen talked for a little bit and then next thing you know, she actually ran up on Jaela. So Jaela and Gretchen went at it and, they were going to blows. Callie then actually runs up and tries to save Gretchen. Scotty tried to intervene a little bit, and then that's when Saucy Santana checked her like, "Girl, move back." And then after Callie tried to, intervene, that's when Sapphire grabbed Callie and dragged her away so she wouldn't be in the mix. This was a little bit more of the aftermath that was going on with Jaela and Gretchen. Then for some reason, Gretchen had her hand in Jayla's mouth, and next thing you know, Jayla's denture comes out. Then Saucy Santana actually runs to the audience and starts telling them, "Yeah, I was gagged. Jaela denture came out." Rolly was the next person that came out after things calmed down, and she was looking like an angry mad cow. After that, Anna and Asian Doll actually came out. They were feeling in the mood to take their shoes off. Asian doll pretty much had her shoes off because she wanted to have smoke with Bianca. She had pretty much said that, like, Bianca, she didn't really like the way she was moving, and she felt like because of Bianca, that's the main reason her and Mariah got into it. So she wanted to pretty much have her rounds with Bianca, but everybody was looking around like, where is Bianca? So pretty much after Bianca had done the A-Town stomp on Diamond, then she had pretty much dipped because she knew she was going to have an issue with Asian. Anna had pretty much took her shoes off because she was like, okay, so it's giving a vibe of everybody needs to take their shoes off, so I'm going to take my shoes off too. And I also peeped that when Janisha had introduced Anna and Asian, she was looking a little disgusted, and I think it was because of Anna. Also, Anna had addressed that the only person she really had an issue with was NuNu, but if Kiva wanted it, she was going to give it to her. So Tommy ends up addressing Rolly, and that's when her and Rolly have their little situation. I felt like this situation really meant nothing, because this was really like a year-old beef. And I feel like really the only reason that Rolly has an issue with Tommy is because of Natalie. But she didn't realize that Natalie had already squashed her beef with Tommy, so it really wasn't no reason for her to still be mad at Tommy. So then Biggie's ass decides that she was going to run over there and give, Rolly a hug. And that's when Tommy was mean-mugging her like, girl, what are you doing? So then that's when Rolly addressed it and was like, why are you being mad and why are you looking crazy at me? And Rolly was just getting upset over the littlest things. So when NuNu came out, Saucy Santana messy ass was like, there she goes, she right over there. So then, as you can imagine, when these two got ready to squabble, here goes Saucy Santana talking about some do-ha NuNu, do-ha NuNu. And I'm not going to lie, I felt like NuNu held her own. Second round, I felt like Anna held her own, so it was really a tie. They should have went third round. So after Jaela's situation with her little denture that was about to fall out, or that did fall out, then she tried to sneak Callie, but then Gretchen actually seen it and, rocked hard for her girl. So after all that, in this next scene, we actually see the replacements coming out, and it is pretty much all the rest of the replacements, even the ones that didn't get casted on the show. When they come out, one of them actually sneaks Biggie, and that's the way the show ends. So here's my thoughts. When it came to the DTB and Tesekhi fight, I feel like it really wasn't that bad. My theory is that I think that Diamond accidentally bit her lip, and that's what ended up causing for her lip to even look like that in the first place. I feel like a lot of the damage did not come from Tesekhi. I feel like a lot of the damage came from her falling, and when she fell on that chair, that's when a lot of the damage ended up happening. I feel like the little bit of punches that did happen with Tesekhi, that's what ended up causing her to swell. But I feel like she got actually a good in hand on Tesekhi. She was able to hit some of those punches as well. I feel like if Diamond was in her outfit that she was in when she fought Slim, fighting Tesekhi, it would have been more of a fair fight. But I feel like Tesekhi knew that because they were roughly the same size, she wasn't going to allow her to get to be, dressed down so she can have one up on her. But not trying to be funny, but I think that they should definitely run that back. Meatball was definitely eaten once again, but I don't think that she was the MVP of the season like Saucy was saying. Jaela really surprised me on how bad she was getting effed up. Gretchen even surprised me on how bad she just ran up on Jaela. I feel like because it was more fair this time around for Gretchen, she kind of was able to do her big one, but I feel like Callie definitely should not have ran up. That's one thing that I forgot to mention is that Saucy was actually mad at the girls for not standing on business when it came to Callie running up for her bestie. They should have did the same for Jaela. The only person that really did that was Sapphire. Rolly was really annoying in the situation because I felt like, she really just didn't want to say, like, the only reason I had an issue with you is because Natalie had an issue with you. Biggie for sure pissed me off when she ran over to give, Rolly a hug, especially when she knows that her bestie Tommy is sitting right there and they have issues. I feel like Bianca definitely should have stayed so then Asian Doll could have really effed her up. I feel like NuNu is not getting enough credit to where she's due. She really held her own when it came to Anna, but a lot of people are actually not admitting that. Natalie actually really got on my nerves when DTB came out because my whole thing is stop being scary. Because she was the main one making videos after the whole fight situation happened. Overall, this episode was so much better than the first episode. But that's my opinion. What's yours?